Okay, this is our summary video, and forgive me, I apologize, this might be longer than 10 minutes because we're going to walk through three different examples, an example blue, orange, and white. And we're going to look at how these examples will play out into your overall billing for these three elements and your total bill for the patient visit. So let's take a patient who's a new patient and comes in, and it's a Monday morning, you're refreshed, you do a terrific job. So that's blue. You're going to do what's necessary in your HPI to bill for a level 4. You're going to do the same thing for past family social history. In other words, in the HPI, out of the 8 items, you at least documented 4 items. You did 2 or 3 items here in the past medical history, medications, allergies, maybe even some tobacco documentation. And in the review of systems, you were able to put yourself in position for level 4 billing because you addressed 1 bullet point in 10 organ systems. So that gives you a score of a 4 up here. You did a terrific exam. It's Monday morning. You're very refreshed and energized. So you did 1 bullet point in a minimum of 8 organ systems. So you get a 4 up here. And you did a terrific job with your data, meaning you did what was necessary to get 3 points or more. And you did what was necessary in your diagnoses to get 3 points or more. So you've got a 4, 4, and 4, and your total bill will be level 4, which is what you wanted to achieve. Now let's go to the next example, which will be orange. And you do a terrific job in your HPI. Out of 8 domains or 8 items, you address 4 of them or more. So you do 4. This time you decide to slack off on the family and social history, and you only look at the medications. So you've done less than level 4 work here. And in review of systems, you've done a terrific job. So you've done level 4 work. Your examination was also impeccable, so you've done level 4 work. You were able to get 3 points in the data, so you did level 4 work, and 3 points in diagnosis, level 4 work. So let's work backwards. In this case, we're not looking at risk. If you remember from the last video, let me remind you now, risk is the component that we are discarding because we're allowed to do so in the MDM element. And so we're only looking at the 2 scores in data and diagnosis, taking the lower of the 2 scores. In this case, they're the same, so 4. The exam has no components, so whatever you do is what you get. That's a level 4. But we've got a problem here. The benefit that we get here in the scoring system, in our ability to eliminate one of the components, is a benefit we do not get over here. So we do not eliminate this low score. We actually take this low score and assign it up here. So notice, of the 7 components, 3 here, and exam has no component, but let's just say exam is its own component. So 3, 4, and 6, excuse me. Of the 6 components, excluding risk, you did poorly on 1 of them. And doing poorly in 1 of them, in this case this one, gives you a billing code for the history element that's going to be less than a level 4. If this is a new patient, all 3 scores are going to be looked at. And so for a new patient, your bill is going to be less than a level 4, even though in 5 of the 6 remaining components you've done level 4 or better work. And so this is an example of how doing a shabby job in just 1 component will have final ramifications in terms of the bill you submit to Medicare, because you cannot compensate for that shabby work in any of the other components. And by the way, this is less than 4, not level 4. So you're billing less than 4, even though in 5 of 6 components you did a terrific job. Now, let's look at this example and say it's not a new patient, but an established patient. Medicare gives you a bit of a benefit when you get to the level of the element. So the elemental level here, not the component level. When you get to the level of the elements and you have an established patient, they allow you to eliminate the lowest score and then work with the remaining 2 scores in a scoring structure that's pretty much this exact same as you see down here at the component level. So if you have an established patient, this score goes away. You're left with 4 and 4, and so your bill is a 4. So that's critical. You need to know if your patient is new or established. In previous videos, I told you the proper way to document so that you can put yourself in position for level 4 billing regardless of whether the patient is new or established. And that was at the level of the component. Here, up here at the level of the element, it does matter whether your patient is new or established. A new patient would have meant you got less than level 4 billing despite all of this effort that you have done, and an established patient would have given you level 4 billing. So keep that in mind. If you cannot reach your billing target because you have an established patient, Medicare understands that and gives you a way out by discarding the lowest score amongst the 3 elements and then taking the remaining 2 scores. So let's walk through one more example. That's going to be the white example here. So you do a terrific job in your HPI. You're back to level 4 billing. You've learned from your mistake, and this time you've done what's needed for level 4 billing in this component, and you've done a terrific job in your review of systems, level 4. You don't do a very good job in your exam this time, meaning you did not address 1 bullet point in 8 organ systems. So you're less than a level 4. And in your data section, you were unable to achieve 3 points for data. So you're less than level 4, but you were able to get level 4 for the diagnosis. Excuse me. Well, it's not working, but that's okay. So this is going to be less than level 4. Alright, so what are our point totals up here? Here you're going to get a point total of 4 because they're all the same. Here you're going to get a point total of less than 4. You performed an exam that will not reach level 4 billing. And down here, there we go, down here you're going to get a score that's putting you at less than level 4 billing because you're taking the lowest of the remaining 2 scores. Remember, this score down here was practically 1 because you never did it. So what is your final score? Your final bill, what you submit, is going to be less than a level 4, but it's going to depend on which one of these is lower. So if you have a new patient and this number turns out to be 2, this number turns out to be 3, you're going to bill a level 2, even though you did work that would have gotten you level 4 over here in this element, and you did work that it would have gotten you a level 3 over here in this element. This is the element that will determine your bill. It's because it's a new patient and it is billed or scored at number 2. If you have an established patient and this is a 4, this is a 3, and this is a 2, you can eliminate the MDM and you will now bill for a level 3, which means even though you put in all this work to put yourself in position for level 4 billing, it's all negated, it's all for nothing because you didn't put in that work over here and you bill for a level 3. So I hope this video explains some common scenarios on how you can end up billing lower than the effort you've put in because of the way the scoring system is designed. You really don't have a lot of benefit. It's not an average of scores, it's the lowest of the scores, and you do get a little bit of benefit when your patient is established, but otherwise it's the lowest of the remaining scores that are in play.